What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's your boy Chris Style. You are tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 145. This is the Chiefs versus Jets recap. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. We got the guys up in here. Clarence should fall in soon. Hope everybody's having a good day on Victory Monday. Let's talk Chiefs.
Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to win him early, hear the truth. Tuning every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chiefs podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Quick style. Out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
Welcome back, everybody. Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 145. Like I said, hope everybody's having a good Monday. Victory Monday. Mark's over there making a whole bunch of noise. What's going on, Ty? How you feeling?
Feeling good. It's a victory Monday. It was a close loss, or a close win. But, I mean, a win's a win. You'll take it in this league. You know, the Jets really fought. That defense is really physical. They're a really physical team, and we seen that last night. They kept fighting. So I give respect to the Jets.
Yeah, for sure. What you got, Mark?
One of those scary looking games. You know, it started out fast and then kind of like took a 2-quarter vacation. Then they found a way to get it done. I mean, we're no stranger to it. I mean, those kind of games happen. So at the end of the day, you still get the result that you want. You know, obviously, you know, it's always going to be kinks and gadgets you want to see worked on, but it's on to the next week.
What up, Clarence?
What's happening with you?
How you feeling?
Man?
How you feeling,
Cooling, bro? I'm good.
Good? Yeah.
It's a Monday. It's a Monday. Yeah.
How's work, man? How was work today?
It's work. We ain't talking about that. We talking about the Chiefs. I spent 8 hours on work, so it's about the Chiefs. Let's enjoy that. Enjoy that.
I'm gonna get a Patreon. We just have Clarence talk about work.
Nah, we ain't doing that either. I need to forget it. Carry on though. Don't let me bother.
Sound like a typical Monday to me.
Yeah.
It happens.
Well, let's talk about it, fellas. Chiefs win 23-20. Was one of Patrick Mahomes' worst games. Wasn't one of his better games. Seemed worse, but you know, some throws that he made yesterday that was kind of questionable, especially in that second and third, between the second and third quarter. It was kind of like Pat was a little off. But the highlight of this game was the running game. 20 carries for Isaiah Pacheco, which in an Andy Reid
Finally.
that's like
Yeah,
what?
finally. Yeah.
20 carries? He had
Finally.
115 yards, 1 touchdown, add on 43 yards to that too. So Isaiah Pacheco, you know, he had a great game. He was the player of the game. He won us that game. He kept us in that game with his running. Noah Gray had a touchdown too, a long touchdown, which looked good. Travis Kelce, he was okay. You know, the first quarter he looked like he was on the roll, and then they kind of stopped going to him, and then he finally caught a pass in the third quarter. But you got to give credit to the Jets defense. They have a very good defense, and they didn't lay down. You know, everybody thought that the Chiefs was just going to roll up, and at first it looked like it was 17-0, and it looked like it was about to be a rout. But the Jets defense woke up and they said, no, not today, not in our house. Y'all going to have to fight for this win. And they did. They had to fight for it. And they came out. It was an ugly win, but it was a win nevertheless. So you take the win and you move on to the next game, try to fix whatever problems we have, whether it be offensive line, whether it be something. I will say we did miss Nick Bolton in this game. I would say we missed Nick Bolton in this game. But overall, you know, the defense still played pretty well. I mean, you hold a team to 20 points, that's still pretty good. So even with Zach Wilson having the momentum that he had, you know, he actually looked like the quarterback
He did.
that
Hmm.
some people say he has potential to be. He showed some confidence yesterday. He made some good throws yesterday. So we'll see how that projects him going forward. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is the momentum he needed and the confidence, and you can see it in his teammates. They were confident in him. They were building him up
Yeah,
even after the loss. They were building him up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, good win. On to the next.
right.
What you think, Ty?
Yeah, I agree with what you said. For a lot of what you said, Mahomes definitely looked off in the second and third quarter. I don't know what it was. He was missing some throws. He was underthrowing some guys too, which is very rare. I think it really comes down to footwork. I think he got away from that again, and he's even talked about that. So I'm not worried about Mahomes. He'll bounce back. Pacheco, we've been talking about this for how long? We want to see him get 20 carries. We want to see him get involved in the passing game, and he finally did. And look what happens when it opens up so much for the offense in other areas. And one thing that last night showed me that a lot of people aren't saying, the Jets are a really physical team. And what last night showed me is that we can beat a team by just being physical, by going out there, running the ball, running it down their throat. We don't always have to be that finesse team. We can beat teams being physical, which you need to be able to do in this league, especially late in
Yeah,
December
we do.
into January. You need that. So, that's a great sign.
What you got,
Go
Mark?
ahead, man.
Learning how to win in more ways than one. That's one thing I can see. As far as it was nice to be able to see them be able to get the run game going. I mean, that maybe that could have contributed as far as some of the different things and schemes that was going on, what they had to the game plan. Because, like you said, this Jet secondary, there was not a walkover defense. I mean, there was a reason why they were giving players like Josh Allen a fit. Josh Allen had his worst game because of him and everything. And statistically, the Chiefs actually put up some of the better numbers against the Jets compared to the other teams that the Jets have played, because really it been the Jets defense, and I felt like the Jets defense, when they started to get settled in that second quarter, they started playing the game that they wanted
Yeah.
their way. So I mean, there was not really much of an argument to it. I thought it was great adjustments. They did what they needed to do. I mean, it almost had like and we were talking about this last night, Chris. It almost had like that Cincinnati vibe. All of a sudden, it was like where the Chiefs did wherever they wanted to, and then all of a sudden just came to a screeching halt. Where it said this
Mhm.
team's like Pat Mahomes could not figure it out. It was like what exactly was going on, what exactly they were showing them, and just throwing some of these ducks, and receivers couldn't get open. They didn't know what to do. And you saw even Pacheco, he got frustrated at one point. Is that where he got up? I think it was after the halftime when they got out. It was their first drive and he got the ball, and the Jets were playing their way. But then when the Chiefs got settled in and figured it out, all systems would go. So I thought it was a great. I thought it was a great eye test for us to see. As far as what this offense is doing and being able to win another way than one. So other than that, it was a good test. Still more games to be played.
For sure. What you got, Clarence?
I mean, you got to tip your hat to the Jets. C.J. Mosley. We talked about, I think, last week. C.J. Mosley is like the anchor of that defense, and he's up there with the middle linebackers. We was talking about Fred Warner and trying to name out five last week. C.J. Mosley is definitely up there, man, because he gets them right.
Mm-hmm.
And and I mean, like, to be completely honest, like that secondary didn't have a huge drop off going into the start of the year. Like
Mm-mm.
Salah knew that secondary was going to be a major strength for them, and you happened to see it last night. That defense got locked in. They got life from the quarterback. Zach
Yep.
played a great game. They got life from him, and they was able to feed off that energy, and they just played a damn good football game. I mean, there is some stuff to work on. Obviously, the wide receivers possibly struggling against press and things like that, but those are things that you can work on. I mean, you still got a lot of time left in this year to get that passing game rolling. You know what I mean? It's still early. You got young guys, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to tip your hat to the Jets secondary and the way C.J. Mosley got them boys locked in once they got that momentum. So on to the next one, dog. So on to the next
Yeah,
one.
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
As far as the receivers go, like you said, Clarence, man, this secondary is really good, man. Sauce Gardner is
very
probably
good.
Yeah.
top two
Yeah,
corners in this league
yeah,
between him and Pat Surtain, even though I know the
DJ Reed is
Broncos.
no slouch.
And they
Yeah,
threw
You
DJ
know what I'm
sauce on
saying?
Travis here and there last
hmm
night too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Whitehead came over. Like they
Yep.
ain't no slouches, man.
No,
You know what I'm
and
they
then
got
saying?
that
all
They
three
are
defense,
not
levels.
slouches.
and then
Yeah.
that defensive line,
Quincy
man. Like,
Williams is underrated too in the linebacking core.
yeah, that defensive line, man, with Jermaine
Yeah.
Johnson, Quentin
Yep.
Yeah.
Williams.
Yeah.
They got some guys over there, man. So
Huff.
Huff,
Marcus
Yeah,
Huff.
yeah,
up too.
definitely Huff,
47.
yeah, yeah. So
He's
they
a
got,
dog, man. Yeah.
yeah, they got some guys over there. So Chiefs Kingdom don't like. I understand we as Chiefs fans we want to see them rout everybody. And we saw the Chicago game, and it's like, we should have went in there, and Zach Wilson is trash, and da, da, da. Nah, man. I
This
knew
this
that. I knew this was going to be a tougher assignment
Right.
than what last week was.
this head coach faced them as a defensive coordinator in the Super
Yep.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Hmm
Like if there was ever an opportunity for him to be able to prove to himself that he could stop an Andy Reid offense, like this was it. Like you can't
And he
expect him to
did
rout everybody, man. Yeah, I mean that game
because
plan
Andy
was
Reid
flawless.
went away from his offense. He actually started running the ball.
Made him have to run the football,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying?
I
Pat wasn't on. Like it was interesting.
if there
I
was a
was happy to
game,
see it.
but if there was a game there, honestly, I would have said that if you would have told me this team would got 100 yards, I wouldn't expect it to be this one because that
Yeah,
front
for real.
defensive line, I was not expecting that kind of game plan. I'm like for him, and he had that big run, obviously, like the 49 yard run for the TD. Of course, you want to break out for one, but that was a hard earned 100 yards that he had to get for that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Pacheco's really he played his butt off, and
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
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 did.
did.
he showed
Young
that
kid ran it.
He
you
brought
give
the
him some
energy last
carries,
night. Yeah.
Yeah.
you give him some carries, and he gets stronger as the game goes on.
Yeah.
He's one of those type of
Mm-hmm.
running backs. As you keep feeding him, he gets better. He gets stronger.
And the
So
defense gets
hopefully,
worn out.
and I think this is how the offense is going to look because of the receivers are still learning and getting better within the offense. Rasheed Rice, he's still showing. I would have liked to see more of them getting him the ball in the middle of the field, getting
Yeah.
him on the
Yeah.
linebacker,
Yeah.
getting him on the safety. Because you saw it. You saw the two plays when they did go to him. He was wide open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
hopefully they do a little bit more of that. The kid is showing that he's a playmaker. He has playmaking ability. You want to see a little bit more from Sky Moore. I understand the Sauce Gardner and TJ Reader and all them. Those are some good corners out there. So,
Yeah.
but you do want to see a little bit
But
more from these
right.
receivers. MVS, Justin Watson. You want to see a little bit more from those guys. But at the end of the day, respect to this defense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This was not going to be easy. This was
Mm-mm.
not going to be a ride. I
Mm-mm.
understand how
Mm-mm.
Chief Kingdom, when we go
Right.
against number one defenses,
Right.
we usually
Right.
smoke number one
Right.
defenses or
Right.
top
Right.
defenses.
We
But
do.
it's going to be a
Right.
little different this year because we got so
Yes.
much young
Yes.
people in that room, man. And it's going to take some time, man. It's just going to take a little bit
I mean,
longer.
there's an interesting trend that's happening.
Mhm.
Teams that are supposed to have good defenses this year, they're actually
Mhm.
playing great defense this year.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's good to see defense is actually still alive and you still can defend some top teams. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the defense. So
I think
So,
it
I'm
showed.
loving it.
I think it showed around the league too. I think the proof. I think there was like
Yeah.
six game. There were six. There were
Yeah.
6 games where they couldn't. 6 teams that couldn't score a touchdown yesterday. I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty interesting. I'm like, okay. I'm like the
Some really
defense.
good defense.
Yeah, they
Some
showing
really
up and
good
they showing
defense.
out.
Really good
yeah,
defense.
for sure.
And one
Mm-hmm.
thing we knew about
Finally.
the Jets defense coming into this year, everybody knew that was a championship caliber defense.
Mhm.
Without
Yeah.
a doubt. Without a
When they
doubt.
added
For
Aaron
sure.
Rodgers, that's what everybody said. They already got the Super Bowl caliber defense, and nobody left that defense. Even when Aaron
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers went down, nobody else got hurt. So
Mm-hmm.
it was
Right.
going to be a battle. And even though
Mm-hmm.
I picked the score to be like 38-6 because I was thinking Zach Wilson's going to suck, but I mean, it was meant to be a battle. It really reminds me of
Yeah.
that Titans game from a year ago.
Yeah. Whereas it was real physical, and
Yeah,
some of the
Mm-hmm.
stuff Pat was trying to do just wasn't working. He was a little off
Yeah.
on some of his throws, but he made it happen with his legs, and he kind of did
Yeah,
that
he
in the
did.
Titans game too.
Yeah, dude.
He had to
Mm-hmm.
make it happen with his legs. And hey, You got to wins. Hey, you got sometimes you got to take wins how you can take them.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It's not style points around. Yeah, you want pretty wins, of course, but you take an ugly W in a minute. You know what I'm
Yeah, you
saying?
Indeed.
can't have
So
pretty wins every week. We did that last
No,
week,
no,
so
you got to
we'll take it.
survive. This
Yeah,
league gets evolves too quickly. You
it
got to
does.
survive. You
mhm.
have to survive in this league. Yeah.
Yeah, for
I just
sure.
thought I just thought even from the it's like for those that were watching for the Jets and everything, I say probably the if they figured out how to more ways how to get it to Garrett Wilson, they'll be just fine.
Yeah,
You definitely saw the impact as far as like I thought that was one of Zach Wilson's probably better, if not his best game that I've probably seen as a Jet like in over the last year and a half. I'm like of all the games decided to have and like as Chris said, I think he made this point and I said I think it come to show that how much they need Nick Bolton out there. It's like,
yeah,
and he was just they were just picking it apart and stuff and taking advantage of it. But at the same time, as the Chiefs fan and everything, we still haven't seen this Chiefs team at 100%. We still waiting on Bolton to get healthy. We still waiting on the minute here. We still got a lot of questions on defense as much as we got them on offense. But
Yeah.
like you said, it was an ugly win, but it's a
And,
win.
and let's be real. The defense really only gave up what, like 12 points? Was
yeah.
it
Because
12
of the
Yeah,
points they
safety.
really
not.
gave up?
I said nine last
You
night.
gotta take five
So
of that away.
nine because the turnover by Pat and then the safety.
Yeah, so I mean, the defense played pretty good
Mm-hmm.
considering. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
Trevor,
they did.
the corners played pretty good. Now we got to talk about Justin Reed.
Snead had a really good game to me
I'm
last
tight.
night.
I'm tight end. That tight end was smoking his boots once again. In
Jeremy
his boots.
Rucker, never even heard of him though.
Never heard of this dude. He's
No.
No,
up there
I heard
getting
of
beat,
But
him.
but
put through the
but
ring.
But it's no. But even so, even kind of showed last year how Chiefs played against some of those bottom barrel teams. They have these kind of moments. They have these kind of
Yep.
games, and you didn't quite plan for it. You know, some of these things that some of the things schematically that they were doing. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's just, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, some things you weren't accounted for. You have to be honest though. You just have to.
Yeah, yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally
Yeah.
agree.
Now I don't blame the touchdown on Justin Reed because he tripped over the helmet of Mike Dana and that helped him out a little bit. But
I don't understand why the Jets didn't go back to that play that allowed Brees Hall to get busy on him. Like, why you go
Yeah.
away
yeah,
from that run scheme?
They
Like
went
you
away
had that all
completely
night
Yeah, that
from
I
too.
was
that
Like
surprised
first
about.
you
drive.
could have hit
They
that.
went
You could have,
completely
man.
away from that. After
Yeah,
that first
yeah.
drive in the second half,
It was
I
it.
don't know what they were
We
doing
gotta
after
let
that.
Zach Wilson go. We gotta let him rip.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, man. Go back
I
to
mean
that running game. Let it
he
save
was
you.
hot.
Let it save
He
you.
was hot. He was
He
hot.
was, and then he fell off.
They was
There
trying to
was
get
a, there was a
it.
lull. Let's keep it gangster. There
Yeah,
was a lull from him. Like,
yeah,
oh, he gonna get one up. Come
I
on, get
think
one up.
I
You know
think
what I'm
Rogers
saying?
went to the locker room or something at halftime and said and had a speech with him or something. I don't know what happened, but he looked
Well,
like
it
a
didn't work.
completely different player coming out of the halftime. He gave him some
yeah,
ayahuasca,
Man,
probably.
man, come on.
yeah.
Yeah, but even
My
so,
man, my man,
even
Rod,
but
He said he's slanging dope in the MetLife Stadium.
yeah, but even prior to that half though, the Jets. Even prior to the half, though, the Jets were starting to build that momentum anyway. So it's like the
Oh,
Jets
man.
had that momentum ever since that safety happened. That's where it started.
Yeah, that's
So it's like
yeah.
it just snowballed, and then it carried over to the third quarter, and then that's what I was saying. It got to that point where players are getting frustrated on the Chiefs. You saw
Mm,
it on their body. You
yeah.
saw it on the body language.
And
I'm like,
Kelsey
I'm like,
too with the
I'm like,
body
I'm like,
language.
I'm like, I seen this script before, so I'm like, okay, this team got to figure it out. They're gonna be in real trouble. I mean, fortunately, never got to the point where I mean, the worst it got was that they tied the game. But it's like I think if the Jets would have got the lead somehow, that probably could have made the situation worse. But fortunately, it just resulted in a tie, and the Chiefs went down there, got that field goal, and executed, and went from there.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I
What
think
y'all
the
got?
biggest thing, the
Go ahead,
biggest thing
Tom.
that concerns me before we move on about the wide receivers, the wide receivers slash Travis Kelsey is probably a little bit more Travis Kelsey because this year he has struggled to beat man coverage all year. He has a 0.0 passer rating when targeted in man coverage. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I don't know if it's because of the injury early on in the season. Maybe he's still kind of working back from that or if it's just the fact that he's getting a little bit older and these defenses are starting to play him a little bit different. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a little bit of age, nutrition, and also the injury. He's working his way back from that injury, so we'll see how he looks in the middle of the season. You know what I'm saying? He still looks like pretty much Travis to me,
He
but
should be able to eat next week. Like,
Yeah, he should.
Jesus.
we
Whoa.
also got to give credit to the Jets.
Whoa.
But we
The
definitely got to give.
Vikings? Woo.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Should hang 500 on them. For real, for
Yeah,
real. They're
but yeah,
bad.
the
They're
Jets.
real
We
bad.
also got to chalk it up as the Jets just have a great, really, really great defense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely.
They got a good
Yes.
defense.
I
They
will say
generate
that
a
too,
great
but
pass rush up the
yeah,
middle
Yeah.
to force Pat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
it was flawless, man. It
it
was
was.
flawless.
It was a
And I
great game
mean,
plan. It really
him
Yeah,
having to
was.
hold on to the football, I mean, it was flawless. Great job to that defense.
like
Yeah.
we're not going to see a lot of defenses like
No,
that.
absolutely,
No, no.
absolutely. There won't be more than maybe one or two more top defenses like this that they'll see.
That they got
Yeah.
left. Yeah.
Maybe one, and that's Buffalo. Maybe I don't
If
know yet.
if the safeties are there and Vaughn's back,
They
I
three
can
deep
see
at
that.
safety now. They three
Yeah.
deep. The only issue is how they respond to Trey White being out
Yeah.
because they're getting Vaughn back this week. So
Hmm.
maybe that defense,
Yeah.
maybe.
That sucks for them though. You get Vaughn back and
Yes,
then you lose
dog.
you lose straight white.
Yes, bro.
Like
Yes, that's
Yes.
a blow.
I
That's
don't
a
think they
major
played
blow.
together at all, but actually, because Trey White
No.
just came back last year
Mm-hmm.
after the
Mm-hmm.
Von Miller injury.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Mm-hmm.
say, I'll say for the Chiefs though, they're going to have at least two because, like you said, the Bills is one, and obviously the
Yeah,
Eagles will be the other one.
the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles. Yeah, Philly.
Hmm.
Yeah, without a doubt, Philly.
Let's talk about it, man. The talk of all the timeline. Bad calls.
Thank you. Thank
Now
you.
there was a few calls that people were screaming about. The holding
Thank
call
you.
on Sauce Gardner. Now we all in agreement. I think whether it's a holding or illegal contact.
Yeah,
I think the flag should have been thrown. Now, when the flag was thrown can be in question. That's what makes that whole flag look bad.
right.
And then the whole Jawan Taylor when Pat made the run on 3rd and 22. A lot of people say it was holding. There's a camp people that say it wasn't holding. There's a camp people that said it is holding. And then there was some stuff on our side. The horse collar that was
Yeah,
ridiculous. That was
Yeah.
not no horse collar, and it should have been a flag for a face mask on the
Yeah,
same
for real.
play.
Yeah.
So there was bad calls all around. What are your guys' thoughts on this whole situation with the bad calls?
Well, with Jawan Taylor though, there's no secret that dude is under the microscope. I mean, he's got more penalties as a offensive on the offensive line than any other, and it's getting kind of scary out there. And these dudes averaging at least two penalty calls a game at least. I think by I checked, he had like 8 or 9 or something like that. So that's just something that he got to deal with, and it's a little bit concerning because even so with Donovan Smith, I think that was the one that was they were looking at as far as with the holding.
yeah,
Um, they're tend. I mean, referees tend to look at history and stuff like that. As far as where they were, I think Donovan Smith was second worst in penalties as far as the offensive lineman. Right now, you got Taylor's the worst right now, and bad calls happen. I think we need some more consistency. As far as with the calls and what that looks like and what all the referees are going to do. But you can argue the tic tac calls. I still thought, in my opinion, the Chiefs were going to win the game regardless of it, as far as they just kind of see how the momentum was going in the fourth quarter. Um, Ticky tack and all that stuff. And we knew, I think we even said this game was going to be one of those games where a lot of those calls were going to be in the microscopes and whatnot. So, I mean, all you can say is what? Refs do better or what? I mean, I don't know. What can you
yeah,
say? I mean, the Chiefs are going to be under the microscope. They're going to whine about every last little call. I mean, we're talking about people, Taylor and him committing false starts. But then you can look at the Eagle game yesterday, and you saw the very same thing happening.
and
I
not a
mean,
single flag was thrown.
exactly. I mean, I was watching the Washington and Eagles game yesterday, and Lane Johnson was doing the same thing. And I don't think there was one called on him either. So, I
Mhm.
mean, just keep it consistent. That's all you can ask for. I don't
Yeah,
know, whatever.
yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think it needs to be more consistency. because I think, like we're saying with the Jawan Taylor thing, he didn't have any false starts this game, unless I missed that. I don't think he
No,
did.
he
So he
didn't.
didn't get called for that. But I didn't really see him jumping either. He wasn't, doing like he was in
Yeah,
other games,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
which that affects his game a little bit, because
Mhm.
that's part of his game is jumping
Mm-hmm.
off the line and getting in position so early. So that's one thing I think it needs to be more consistent. Now, as far as with the bad calls on the Jets, the holding on Sauce Gardner, I thought it was a holding or a legal contact, like Chris said. He definitely grabbed his jersey. You could see it when MVS was trying to go the other way in the route. So that's definitely holding, in my opinion. And then the other one on Donovan Smith, that I do think that was definitely a holding on Donovan Smith. That just gets missed, though. I mean, that happens in every NFL game. There's always a hold. There's
Mhm.
probably a holding on almost every play.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it gets missed a lot. So I'm not really worried about that. I think it really just equaled out for both sides. Like you said, there was a couple bad calls for us too. So I think it equaled out.
Defense. I mean, penalties. I mean, they're part of the game, and I'm not going to say who was right and who was wrong.
Right.
It's just
Right.
bad if it's saying, but you got to beat the champs. I mean, that's just facts. Like you have to beat them. You can't try to rely on shit and expect to get a dub and say, "Hey, let's pat ourselves on the love." No, you got to beat the champs, and they are the fucking champs. So until they knock them off, it is what it is. Bad calls on both sides. Chiefs
Mhm.
get some favorable calls. You got to beat them.
Mhm.
You just got to beat them, and it is what it is. It's a dub. On to the next.
I thought there was more
It's a
emphasis.
dub.
I thought
Beat
I
them.
thought I
Beat
thought there
them.
was,
You
but
got them at home. Beat them.
I just thought there was more emphasis on the bad calls than just the reality of it that the snap was fumbled. I mean, that's just
Yeah, that
Yeah,
too.
and
Yeah.
they won. The Chiefs won the game. You let
Right.
Patrick Mahomes beat you with his legs.
Yep.
So, like I said, beat them.
Right.
Beat them. You can't beat them. So sit down on to the next. That's just facts.
Yeah.
That's
Because
just facts, man.
okay, and if there is any Jets fans listening to this, you're not gonna talk about the missed touchdowns that
No,
Zach Wilson
no,
missed. Two of them.
no. Yeah,
We missed
yeah,
two of them.
Well, they
yeah.
talk they talk about that. I mean, there's 100 missed touchdowns they could talk about with Zach Wilson in his career. So nobody has
Yeah.
yeah.
nobody has time to do that.
And I'm not saying that to say the Jets didn't play a great game because we all
Right.
know they did. But
No,
I
they played a
mean,
good game.
Yeah.
beat them, beat
Right.
Yeah.
them, just beat them. Leave no doubt, beat them.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to beat them this year.
They had their window. They were the home team. They had pretty much had every advantage you could possibly think of. It's just
And that was
And yet Patrick
that was third
Mahomes
and
ended them.
26 or third and
mhm,
22, and you let Mahomes run for the first down, and you're
Thank you.
complaining about a
He
mhm.
ended
hold.
them. Yes, he
Yeah.
ended them with his
So
legs. So beat him, man. I mean, y'all don't like him, beat him.
All right, y'all talking about?
So he ended them.
We talking about like
Facts,
seeing like
man.
Pat Mahomes don't run no 4.340 or something like that.
Hey,
So
yeah,
hey,
you
they,
know,
exactly.
they
It's
act like
third
he
and
don't.
22, and he ran right up the middle for the first
They act
down.
like he don't. They act like
Yeah,
he don't.
they
You
do.
know what I'm saying? So nana nana de boo boo. Y'all lost.
Well,
Y'all
that's the
lost.
thing with the way the Jets defense was playing yesterday, so deep and so far back, because they were playing a lot of cover two, and even Andy
hmm
Reid said that this morning. That definitely opened up a lot of opportunities for Mahomes with his legs, and then obviously Pacheco. So that's something I hope we see moving forward. Where when we're seeing these cover twos, they don't get stubborn and like we're still going to run our offense the way we want to. You got to adjust, and they did.
I mean, the Jets were playing 2 quarters of football of the game of what they wanted to do. I mean,
Right.
that's when it's all said and done, it all balanced out. The Chiefs own the first and the fourth. The Jets own the second and the third. So when you get a chance to play your style of football and you're able to hold the Chiefs to even just the fact that it held them down to 23 points, that's a win because the Chiefs, we're used to seeing this team accustomed to seeing them scoring around 30 some odd points anyway. So if you could hold the Chiefs around that 20-point margin, you give yourself a great shot. Unfortunately, it just came up 3 points short. That's just the reality of it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I got a question for you fellas. What is your confidence level in these receivers right now?
Mm.
like a 1 through a 10, or like
Mhm.
Mm.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with like a 3 right now. And it's not that I'm down on the receipt. It's not that I'm not like I think moving forward they'll get better. But right now
Mhm.
it's a 3. After what I seen last night, it's a 3. Justin Watson not creating I don't know who was creating separation yesterday besides Rashee Rice, honestly, and Noah Gray.
Kadarius.
And Noah Gray.
Kadarius
Kadarius,
got big.
Kadarius, bro.
Kadarius.
Well,
Kadarius got
Kadarius Tony,
big.
but they gave him the Mecole Hardman role now, to where he's
Mm-hmm.
just getting jet sweeps. He's running wheel routes. He's running screens. He's not running routes down the field like he
Nope.
did his first week here. It was successful, and they went completely away from that with Tony, and he hasn't. I mean, he hasn't been lived up to the expectations.
What
I
you got,
say
Mark?
I say 5, 6,
Mm.
somewhere around there right now. I mean, you're still trying. I think
Mm.
you still it still got some things they got to figure out. I think they're still trying to implement the running game, which is a good thing. I mean, I thought them implementing the running game was a step up.
Yeah,
Normally, we're not seeing. I mean, the first 2 weeks, I think we were seeing Pacheco, McKinnon. They were getting around maybe 8 carries or something like that. As far as what they're at the peak point. So I mean, I have to be optimistic. So 5, 6, and everything. I think they're trying a few things differently. I mean, it's no different than when we saw McKinnon coming out the backfield and he was getting touchdowns. I mean, none of us would have said that he would have had 8, 9 touchdowns at the end of the year. So just got to give it time. You still got Kelsey trying to get healthy. You know that all that plays into a factor. And also you have to consider that the Jets are a good defense as far as in the secondary. So 5, 6. I mean, they're still trying to get the ball rolling, figure out how it is. It's still early in the season. We're not even out the first quarter of the season yet. So I'm gonna stay in that number 5, 6. If I would give it a 3, if they were putting up like 10 points a game, then yeah, then I would have a problem. But I mean, they're still getting to around that 20 point margin, and the games where you were around the 20s, Kelsey was out, and in this game they just played a really good defense.
Yeah. What you got, Clarence?
Okay, so remind me. Last week they played the Bears,
Mm-hmm.
and the output was what? Kelsey had like 7 catches. I think Rasheed had what, 3 or 4?
yeah, I think it was 3 or 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sky had one, and MVS had one, right? But Sky
I
had
think
I,
Sky like two. I think Sky had like
yeah, I
two,
think
two.
two.
Sky was
Okay.
2 or 3.
Okay, so how best to describe this? I would say, remember I told y'all how somebody need to come in that locker room and say, "Look here, I'm the best player, so I get all the catches."
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
this is the result of that not happening yet. Like
Mm.
Yep,
somebody has to step up and be the leader of that room, and we not seeing it from nobody. Nobody.
that's
You
fair.
tell me who. You know what I'm saying? You played a
Yeah,
bad Bears team who can't figure it out in the secondary. Then you played a we don't know Jacksonville team that you found some rhythm in the passing game. But when you played Detroit at home, you didn't have an answer. You know what I'm saying? And when you
Mm-hmm.
go play the Jets, it looks like you don't have an answer.
yeah, man, those are two really good defenses too. So I mean,
I'm just saying.
yeah,
What would your grade be? You know what I mean? I got nothing, dog.
you got a 0. They get a
Listen, I got
0.
nothing, dog. You ball out, you show some production against the Bears and the Jaguars. What are the Jaguars? What
We
are
don't
they?
know. We really
Are
don't
they winning
know.
the South? You know what I'm saying? Are they back? Like, what are they?
And yeah,
You see what I mean?
throw that whole
Yeah,
Come
Jacksonville
on,
game,
man.
throw that whole Jacksonville Atlanta game because I had no idea
Come
what I
on,
was watching.
come on, man. So what?
that
I
game,
mean,
that game was terrible. That
so what
yesterday I
grade do
saw
you
it.
give them? You feel me? Like, what grade do you give them at that point? I got nothing, dog. Go ahead, Chris. Go
I got
ahead,
him at a
Chris.
five.
you got him at a
I got
5.
I got him at a 5 right now.
Okay,
I got him. I got
sure
a,
you
my
do.
confidence as a 5. Um, it's like you said, Clarence. Like nobody's, there's no guy in that room where you like if they get that dude the ball at this point, this time, down you know, 3 points.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
need to
yeah,
march down the field. Who's going to be that
yeah,
dude other than
yeah,
Travis
Yeah,
Kelsey?
other than
yeah.
Travis.
Other than Travis Kelsey can get now. My answer would probably be Isaiah Pacheco. That would probably be my answer.
So
Yeah,
is that the
Rashi
way this
Rice might be
offense
the other
runs?
answer.
and
Nope,
even
Huh?
It,
nope,
it
and even
can't run through 10. It's not gonna
nope.
run through there. Like
and,
they're not doing that.
and even so, because what set up that touchdown in yesterday's game was because they forced. I'm not sure if it was a safety or the linebacker, whoever it was.
Yeah,
They forced him to come up, and Noah Gray came wide open on the other side.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
Who's the
yeah.
other tight end?
No, Noah Gray. He says he doesn't say Kadarius Tony or Sky
No,
Moore or
right.
no,
Rasheed Rice.
no.
He says Noah Gray.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to judge this room and give it a 5?
Yeah,
I'm giving it a 5 because this
Clarence
is
is
me
cooking
saying,
today. Yeah.
listen, I'm giving it a 5 because I'm also giving
Based
them
on what?
they're still
He's-
trying to get it together to
Listen,
get that
Mark.
timing right.
This okay. Hold on now, Mark. You said you watched the Jaguars and the Falcons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't know what the hell you was watching.
I didn't. I mean, the only thing that stood out in that
Okay,
game was Bijan Robinson. That was
5.
it.
yeah, Bijan. Yeah,
That was it.
You get them nothing, man.
and the game being in the
Because
Toy Story broadcast
Yeah,
was something else. But
it was
yeah,
like
that
Andy's room.
first
That's
of all,
Andy's room.
they need to throw that whole concept away, similar to like the whole Nickelodeon thing. I'm like, okay, you need to rework that
Man,
whole idea.
man.
I actually thought it was pretty cool.
the
Yeah, yeah. If
When
I
I
was
was
Nickelodeon
a
a
one was
kid,
kid,
cool, but
I was a
that
kids
kid.
one,
like
I
it.
love.
that
They's
one
got
yesterday wasn't it?
no
It had too
the
many
one
technical difficulties.
no the Nickelodeon one. They's got to be careful on them hot mics. That's what happened.
Mm,
That's what happened.
mm,
The hot mics. I'm like,
mm,
I don't think you can say that on
mm.
kids TV.
No, you can't. No, you ain't supposed to anyway.
You're getting the full experience,
You know what I'm saying?
man.
This is in Andy's room, Mom.
Getting the full experience, man.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but look, I get it. I hear you,
Yeah,
Clarence, and I'm not disagreeing with you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know you ain't.
yeah.
But
He's got.
I'm
It's
saying,
valid.
I see the potential. I do see the potential. I
We all
do.
see the
We
potential.
see it, but we don't
Where
see
the
it
hell?
consistently.
Listen,
But I
why is
also
Justin
can blame
Ross
that on
going out
play
there?
calling.
Why is
Yep.
Justin Ross going out there and is irrelevant?
Why is Justin Ross even on the team at this point? If Andy Reid's
He's totally
big self
irrelevant.
ain't gonna put him on the field,
He's irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like these wide receivers are not fearing. Like these secondaries are not afraid of these wide
no.
receivers because these
They
wide
Especially
wasn't
receivers
that
afraid
haven't
of us
Mahomes
proven.
last
kid.
year.
I mean, but at least you
They
had
had to
Juju.
respect. They
You
had to
had
respect Juju.
experience.
They
Yeah,
wasn't
You
scared.
had experience. You had
yeah, they did
experience in
respect
that
Juju
room, man.
because who was getting all the
How many
third
catches
down
Juju
catches?
get? Thank you. How many catches Juju have?
He almost had 90, I think, or was something
Yeah, he was
close to
close
that.
somewhere. He was somewhere around there. Yeah.
Who was
See what I'm
catching
saying?
all the?
Like,
Who had the most catches on third downs last year?
thank you. Thank you. That was
Wasn't
experience in
Kelsey?
that room. And nobody else is stepping up into that role. We thought it was Sterling or Sky, my bad.
Are we?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Sky can't do that.
Nope.
He
Sky's not what I thought he was. I'll be honest with you.
they're fearful of Pat, yeah.
Yeah,
But they ain't afraid of these
they
wide
ain't
receivers.
scared of
Come
those
on. Let's be
receivers.
honest. They
No.
not, man. There's no way a secondary is like, yeah, this unit can beat us.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the targets right now, and if you just look at the tight ends alone, they have 12. If you look at the receivers, you have 2, 3, 4,
You gotta count it out
6,
on one hand. Look at
11.
that. That's
Yeah,
bad.
no,
That's
no,
bad.
no.
That's
Here you
bad.
go. No, I got you.
That's
The
bad.
the receivers had 11 targets, and then the
hmm
tight ends had 12.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I didn't even count for the running backs. The running backs look like they got about 6.
I don't see, and I don't think Mahomes trusts this receiving core at all. I'll be honest with you. That's what I seen yesterday. Was a quarterback that did not trust his receivers. I mean, the body language, the way he was throwing the balls, to
Mhm.
me, he just didn't trust the receiving core. And right now, I don't blame him. because you didn't like who did you put in this receiving? Like, why is Justin Watson? I know everybody's a big Justin Watson fan,
There you
but can
go.
somebody show me a highlight of him actually creating separation? Because every time he makes a pass, it's a tight window throw from Pat. And
Hmm.
it's always a tight window throw. He's never creating separation. I haven't seen any of these receivers create separation consistently at all this year. Besides in that Bears game, and
Mm-hmm.
like Clarence
You
said, the
got a
Bears
point.
are a terrible team. We're
Yeah, I
not playing
mean,
the Bears again this year. We're not playing them again. And once we get in
You
the
play the
playoffs,
Broncos.
we're certainly not playing a team like the Bears. So that's what worries me is when we play these elite defenses like we seen last night and in week one. I would put the Lions as an elite defense right now. When we play these elite defenses, we see what we struggle to do, and I think it just comes down to the trust of these receivers.
Yeah, because
I
usually when
mean,
Pat,
maybe. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I was saying usually when Pat get rid of that ball between that 3 to 5 second window, it's always usually a good result. But then we're starting to
Yeah.
see him hold the ball a lot longer. We're starting to get 5 then 7 seconds, and then that's when you have your breakdown. So it's a little bit concerning. No, we
I
ain't
wouldn't
just no
say
we
we're
no we no we
discounting it.
no we
No.
gave the Jets
Yeah.
defense their credit. We did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean by all means they got the
Yeah.
credit they
We
deserve.
brought your ass in here earlier. You'd have heard that.
Yeah, I was saying even, like we were talking about, we weren't expecting the run game to be able to progress as much as it did. That's
Right.
what we were not counting for. I mean, I can't even think of the last time really when the Chiefs actually had a 100-yard rusher. I can't think of the last time.
Right.
So, I mean, for them, I mean that's why I said I definitely give Pacheco definitely earned the game ball last night for what he did. I mean,
Absolutely.
he was
Without a
running
Oh
shadow
hard.
of
yeah.
a
He had
doubt.
Yeah.
and he had absolutely no will to fall down. That dude was keeping his belt, doing what he needed to do. He would take that first hit and keep going.
See, and I'm gonna respond to Country's comment real quick. But we're supposed to be the best offense in the league. I mean, yeah, you're supposed to struggle with defenses that are really good, but what we seen last night was a completely different team, in my opinion, than what we saw a week before. I mean, it was completely different.
And we didn't see any trick plays. I was actually kind of shocked because he had a couple of third and ones. I probably say the closest was when he had that third one. Like,
Yeah,
oh, come
they had
back,
that
play.
one trick play,
Yeah.
Which one?
the Kelsey one, and he handed it
Oh,
over to Jerry
oh,
McKinney.
oh
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
why
yeah.
the wide receivers
Mhm.
can't
No,
improve. It's not like Pacheco's been
we.
getting 20
That's right.
carries
That's
every
right. We call it the
game.
Blake. We call it the Blake Bell special. My bad. Yeah. Okay. There was
Yeah.
one. My bad.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. They're the
It
youngest in the
is.
league. Yeah.
Hmm.
You can see it. You can definitely see it.
Yeah,
Look,
you can see it.
But but
I ain't gonna start on that. I ain't gonna start on that.
But even
I'm
so,
over it.
but you know what though? Another big takeaway that you can do is like if you don't really appreciate defense, this game was not the game for you. Because
Right.
even so, I thought the Chiefs, we're starting to see that rise, and they're still not 100% yet as far as defensively. So if
Mhm.
you want to see good defense, last night was a good game to watch.
I
That was a
think
fun one to watch defensively.
I think Country's confidence level in the Chiefs wide receiver core right now might be a 10 still. It might be a 10. And there's no way it
Mhm.
should be that high after watching what we've watched for
Absolutely
these
not.
4 weeks.
I will
Even
say
that
this.
Jacksonville game, they
I,
weren't
I,
they weren't
Absolutely
getting
I
up.
not.
will say this for past games. Andy begrudgingly, it's gonna have to. He's gonna depend on that running game to open things up for these wide receivers. I
Yeah.
think. Um, I think the person that can be, and what I've seen in these first 4 games, to Clarence's point, I think the guy that can be the guy is Rasheed Rice.
I
Yeah.
I
agree.
think
And,
he
and, and
can be
here's another thing. Here's another thing. So maybe simplify things a little bit more.
Right.
Give people roles and be more
More
consistent
defined.
with
Yeah.
who you put in certain formations because it's
Yeah.
forever evolving. And
Hmm.
these guys are running routes and they're learning things. I mean, maybe it's time to like designate and say, this is what we doing.
Yeah.
No
No, I
doubt.
agree with that, Clarence, for
Yeah. I
Yeah.
sure.
mean,
Because we're not seeing that right now. Like
Yeah.
it's guys are just out there. Like MVS and Justin Watson really should not be on the field at the same time, in my opinion, because they're both very similar receivers where they're just stretch the field guys. That's what they are. They're deep threats. So I don't feel like they should be on the field at the same time. I feel like the coaching staff really isn't setting this receiving core up for success right now with what we're seeing. when Kadarius Toney has the start to the game that he has yesterday, but then I think he got like 12 snaps. He was one of the lower snap count out of
Yeah,
all
he
the
was.
receivers. So you go away from what's working multiple times. They've done it throughout the season. Rashee Rice in that Lions game, first half, it was working. They went completely away from it. I just don't get what they're doing right now with these receivers, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to tell. I mean, we're only talking about 4 games to a season in
Right.
a season where you still got to play 17 games, and you still got to play your tougher competition. You still got the Bills in your schedule. You still got Miami on the schedule. You still got the
Yeah.
Eagles on the schedule, and you still got all those division games still to account for. Which playing with the Broncos on a tight window. Usually those are always close for whatever reason. But
True.
there's still a lot to be had though. I think we got a lot of questions we want to ask, and they're playing. Them going on the road again on a back to back road game. I think it'll be more interesting to see how they start in that one because
Right.
typically when they play those road games where they have 2 consecutive, sometimes they have tendencies to lose one of those. So hopefully you're not caught sleepwalking. We definitely want to see Bolton back. I think that's big. Hugh, he's what 2 games away from coming back because he has 6
Yep.
game, right?
Yeah, the 6 game.
So we just got to get through those. We just got to get through these next 2 games, and then we'll be able to get a much more clear picture on
You said
defense.
that's Minnesota and Denver, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So I'm just right at this point. Yeah, you're taking it 1 week at a time, but for the defense sake, I just want to see. I want to see how many you get
I
back.
hate you, Joe. Tony. I can't stand you, Joe.
I got it. Oh.
Joe, boy, you a fool.
Out of control.
He's a
man.
Justin Watson fan, by the way. He's talking bad on Kadarius Toney, but Justin Watson's not on a snap count. You can't even tell the dude's out there half the time.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Oh, hell.
Time on this tirade.
You know what I'm saying?
Jay Watt, 5,000.
So let's see. We're 4 games in now, right? So the next
Yeah.
4 they got the Vikings, Broncos, Chargers, and then Broncos again. Yeah, I think these next 4, then we'll be able to make another fair assessment. I mean, we'll be able to make another assessment as far as where they are receiver wise. Now, if they can't get separation from these Broncos receivers in these 2 games.
Yeah, they can't give separation from the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody should have close to 80 to 90 yards against the damn Vikings.
Somebody should.
I'm just saying. Somebody should.
Somebody should. And that's what I've been saying all year, though, that somebody should stand out. And nobody, I mean, other than Rashee Rice, who we've talked about standing out, nobody stood out. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I'm concerned. I do trust Andy Reid and Mahomes, like Country said. And I trust Travis Kelce to bounce back, too. But the biggest thing is we've been saying this all year. When are they going to stand out? And we just haven't seen it yet. So, I mean, to me, until somebody stands out, I can't be confident.
I will say this. It is early.
It's early. I mean, they're basically in the. I mean, considering they're coming off that first loss and everything, they're still in the. And despite all the concerns, they're still in the driver's seat when it's all said and done. They would still be the number 1 overall seed, and really, it's still early to talk about that. Only because everybody else has a conference loss. So for them to still be in the number 1 seed, and they still got issues to figure out. Still in a good situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, thing was messing up over here. All right, fellas, let's talk about the rest of the games on yesterday. A lot of interesting stuff that happened yesterday. Starting with you, Clarence. What is a game that stuck out to you? What is something that stuck out for you yesterday? Other than
the Eagles and Commanders.
Yeah.
Washington being able to keep fighting.
I was mad about one thing about that game, Clarence. Only one thing.
That catch?
No, not the catch. It was the maybe it's just me, but in situations when you're on the road and and you're the underdog as much as they were, I would have went for 2. That's just what I would have done. I mean, you had the momentum. You're on the road as it is. Do you really want to give you? Do you really want to put the ball back in Jalen Hurts' hand
This
where he could have went for the
this is true.
touchdown?
This is
That
true.
that was my thought process.
Yeah,
And then when they
yeah,
thought that when they settled for overtime, I'm like, okay, I think they lost this game.
yeah. I mean that. I mean, his the guy's arm is right there when McLaurin comes down, so it's hard to evaluate. But
Mm-hmm.
I think the toes was inbound. It's too hard to tell from the angles they showed, but that's a tough one, man. That's a tough. I mean, but they played them close. I mean, there's no moral victories. A L is a L, though.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Hopefully, you can catch them in Washington and get that dub.
Mm-hmm.
Just never know. They
What you got?
defense is the Philly defense just out of control though. My bad. But go ahead.
No, you good. You good.
You
That
good.
defense is just
I didn't like. I
bro.
don't. I mean,
Jesus.
other than yesterday, I don't like the way Philly's offenses look. It's been
I
inconsistent.
Yeah.
mean, but look at that. But that defense speaks for itself, man. God, that defense is
Oh,
no
they got so
joke.
much. They got so much talent over
I
there.
Yep.
know,
Jalen
man.
Carter.
It
It's
bails them
Georgia
out,
over
man.
there. There's a bunch of
Yeah,
bulldogs over
It's
there.
the it's
bails
the
Philly out, man.
we've been saying that since the beginning. It's the Philadelphia Bulldogs. That's all
Yep.
it is.
Man,
That'd be good.
man. It bails them out, man.
It does.
God.
But
Who
I
they
think the
got?
offense is
Are
just
we getting
still.
it in? Are we about to get it in?
I think the Eagles' offense is
Hmm.
still just getting their footing under them. You know, it's a whole new coordinator, and Shane
Yeah.
Steichen. He's a really good coordinator. You know what you're seeing. He sets quarterbacks up for success. So it's
Yeah,
just
they
a
do.
new system. It's just going to take time to learn, and I think they're slowly starting to get that. You're starting to see it though, especially with DeAndre
Mhm.
Swift having a big role.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. He's been rolling, dog. They tough, man.
They
Anyway,
does. Their whole line does. They don't get a single
yeah,
flag.
yeah, yeah. Vets.
Mm-hmm.
What I took away from yesterday is two things. I was wrong about Buffalo. I was very wrong. They're
Mm-hmm.
good, man. They're
They're
good.
alive and
I
well.
told you. I told
They're
you.
good.
I told you.
They made I made Miami look regular.
I
Yeah, they
told you.
did. They made
I
Tyreek Hill
told
look
you.
regular too.
I
I think
told you Buffalo wasn't no joke this year.
they shut that
I
whole
said
comment.
it, man.
Yeah, I
I
believed
thought
it
they was gonna
when.
take a step back, man. I did. I thought they was
But
gonna take
Mm-mm.
a
here's
step
the
back.
thing with Buffalo. We see this every
Mm-mm.
year, though. They peak
They
really
do.
early, and
Not
Yeah, they
they
like
do.
peak
this,
early,
Ty.
though.
Yeah.
Ty,
This is a
not
little
like
different.
this.
It's a little
This is
different.
different.
It is
They
different.
running the
But
They
football.
look locked
yeah,
in.
They committed
Mm-hmm.
to a
yeah,
ground game at Buffalo now. Oh, man, it's
they're
bad.
finally using James Cook. I'm
I
glad
hate
to
to say
see it.
it,
Man, and
but Josh
Latavius
Allen might be
Murray.
right now. Just it's early. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen might be the MVP.
I
Man,
mean,
Yeah,
and I
the
mean,
offense is cooking, though.
that early loss might have been what they needed. True, if you really
Hmm.
think about it, that loss to the Jets is
Yeah,
at
I
least
mean,
they.
they was opening up in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like New York had
Yeah,
all of that momentum that night. Like,
I
yeah,
don't think
that
Miami's a
was.
fraud.
Their
Yeah, I
offense
don't think
on the
they
fraud
fried.
too. Not their offense.
Well, yeah, offensively, yeah,
Yeah,
they still same on
that's
Miami
what I'm
on defense.
saying. They
No, I
always
agree
Yeah,
peak
with you,
early.
country, but I'm just saying it's a little.
It
I don't
is
know. It's a
different,
little,
though.
it's something
it's
well,
different.
different, man. You got to watch it. Go
one of
watch it
one of the turning points, or even that
for four
Miami game, I
quarters.
think
Go
that
watch it. You'll see.
early
My bad. Go ahead.
in that Miami game, though, I think one of the other linemen got hurt, and it just looked like a downhill after that. That's just what I saw. It's still with Miami. I mean, it's early to tell. I mean, you still got to go the other way. So it'll be interesting. But
Epinesa is man, they
but
different. Man.
but yeah,
Buffalo is something off.
But yeah, Buffalo did look good. I mean, we're no strangers to Buffalo being hot this early. You know, usually they're trending around, maybe 4, 5, 6-1, something like that. But Clarence was actually, I think he's absolutely right, because I think it was last week when I turned it, when I went, he said the Buffalo actually looked really good. That's when I actually turned the channel last week. I'm like, okay, they do got something a little bit different.
They
And then when
running
they
the football, man.
and
Yep.
God.
they've been crushing teams too by over 20 points the last 3 weeks. You don't see, that's not typical. They've been going out there crushing them.
Yeah.
So I mean, Buffalo is definitely a different story, but around the league, as far as the two kind of things that kind of stuck out to me was, like I said earlier, 6 teams could not score a touchdown yesterday.
Yeah,
6. That's a
Hmm.
lot. and then 5 of those games. I mean, depending on what you consider a blowout, I'm gonna say 21 points or more is a blowout just for my sake. 6 of them were blowouts.
Can I ask something? Who was
Yeah.
one of them teams that didn't score a touchdown yesterday? I'm just curious.
Let me
Bengals?
go.
It was a team. They
He
eat
said Ty, you
Philly.
said that so quick. Jeez, you said the Bengals.
I
I'll
was
put
just
up.
curious. Carry on. Carry on. Yeah.
No, it was
They got 3 great receivers, supposedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
One of them is going to be a Chief. No, playing.
All right, the 6 teams that couldn't get a touchdown were the Browns, who were playing with a backup quarterback. The Steelers couldn't get one. The Panthers didn't get one.
Yep.
The Saints didn't get one.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals didn't get one, and the Patriots didn't get one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
16. Yeah, 6 teams. That's
That's
crazy.
reality. That's reality. I'm just happy. Thank you. 2 more seconds. I was gonna say it myself, Joe. Listen here. Okay, time's up, y'all. It's over. Ha ha, nana, the fucking boo boo babies. Y'all suck. Y'all suck. Y'all fucking suck. You suck. Sucks to suck. You suck.
Yep.
Thank you. Nana, the fucking boo boo. Carry on. I'm sorry. I had to get that out. I was triggered. My bad, man. Working on my mental health.
I got a question for y'all, fellas.
Yeah.
Do we gotta start paying attention to the Texans, man? Are they gonna
Yes.
win that division?
I think we do. I think
Are
so.
they gonna win that division over there?
Only where they're a problem is if you have to go to Houston to deal with them. I think
Stroud could travel.
I don't think he could get by at Arrowhead.
No,
I think if you got him in Houston, you may have a problem.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're a top tier
this year,
team, but I'm
you may
saying
have a
like they're one of
problem.
those teams that can,
A sleeper team.
they're the
like a
7th
Yeah.
seed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the South
They
is
could
a
be
lot.
like what the Jags did last year, sneak in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing about it though. The Jags are so fraudulent
agree.
right now. They're so fraudulent that they made that division much more wide open. They basically out here making me look like an idiot as far as when I was predicting. I'm like, I mean, despite with Tennessee, 'cause I still don't believe in it. But Houston, and then the way he got that defense looking right, and shout out to D'Amico Ryans. He's doing his thing down there.
Are they top 5 in pass rush?
I think so. Yeah, they are.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Top
man,
5 in sacks. And,
Anybody that asked me, I told them Houston was going to beat Pittsburgh. I told
Yeah,
them
you
Houston
did.
was
Yeah,
gonna
you
beat
were
them.
right. You right.
You know what I'm saying? I told them it's different when you got a top 5 pass rush. That means that quarterback cannot do nothing. No, they're not ready for prime time.
They're not ready for prime
Absolutely.
time.
no, I wouldn't
But
say all
wouldn't be-
that.
No.
That's one of them 12
No.
o'clock games. You got to go down to Houston and play.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm only at the
way that
point
division
where
looking, I wouldn't be surprised they won the division.
exactly. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's
I'm
where
at.
I'm at. Too.
I'm at. They can win this division. That's where I'm at.
Me too.
Now-
It's terrible. I don't know
Because
if
they
not
always-
buying
Oh,
into
they were
Texas
beyond
Jacksonville
terrible.
struggles to beat the Texans every year, anyways. When they were even when they were bad, because both teams were bad. But even last year,
You got Calvin Ridley on your team, and he only caught 2 passes for 38 yards
in
yesterday.
a touchdown. Yeah.
Come on, punch Trevor Lawrence in the stomach and get it over with. Just punch him in his stomach. Just
Trevor
punch him in
Lawrence
his
might
stomach,
just be a
man.
game
What is he
manager.
doing, man? Like, come on. How does Calvin Ridley only get 2 catches?
I don't think he's a game manager. I just don't think he.
I
might
think
not
he's
be what
Alex
he
Smith
thought.
with long hair.
It's weird though because
Punch him in the stomach.
it's weird though because like you would think with them having a Calvin Ridley you would add more value to him, but then
2 catches for 38 yards, man. And
Yeah.
a tutty.
Yeah.
And 1 tutty.
And Christian
was
Kirk
early.
still looks like the wide receiver 1 over there.
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's who they trust. That's the player who they trust on a third down to make that play.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's who they
ain't it?
trust more.
Sad.
But other than that, I mean, I felt like I wasted a couple of hours of my time. I think I fell asleep a couple of times just watching every time Atlanta had the ball. That's how bad it was.
I got a PSA for Chicago. Sell it
Oh.
all. Just
For
sell it.
what? For
Just
what?
sell it all. Just sell it all.
Hold on, Chris. Let me pivot that. Say, hey, listen, man. We don't want Chase Claypool though.
Yeah.
No, I'm
need to stop
good.
that shit.
Absolutely not.
Everybody that said Chase Claypool, you listen. You need to go and get a fork and stab yourself in the cheek with it or something. The Chiefs don't need no Chase Claypool, man. Y'all need to stop that shit.
He's
What
not
they
Get a
going?
even.
grip on
Why? So
reality.
he can play 5 snaps.
Thank you.
He's
Get a
not
grip
better
on
than Justin
reality.
Ross, in
Why
my
every
opinion.
time somebody's ass on the street, they gotta come to Kansas City? And listen, man, hey man, listen, we got restart in the City Union Mission. We don't need all these people coming to Kansas City to play for the Chiefs. Man, stop all
They
this shit.
just need to sell it all, Joe.
Stop.
We're
Send
not.
Justin Fields to
There's
Atlanta.
See,
nothing.
yeah, Justin Fields in Atlanta. That's one
Go
thing I
send him
was
to
going to say.
Atlanta.
That's what I want to
Yeah.
see.
Sell
That's what I
out
want.
for Caleb Williams. That's
Yeah,
what that organization needs.
yeah.
Hope.
Yeah.
Hope.
Yeah.
And Caleb Williams is hope.
See, I don't
Yeah.
know if he is, because if you try to build
Talk to
around
him,
him the
Ty.
same way you built around Fields, it's gonna
You
fail.
get rid of this
It's
damn
gonna
coaching
fail.
staff.
Yeah, you get rid of
Get
the
rid
front
of this damn
office, in my
coaching
opinion.
staff. First of all, that's where you start at.
Mhm.
But you sell out, go get Caleb Williams. At least give these damn fans some hope.
Didn't the Bears
That's
have
what
the
we
most?
thought Justin Fields
You
was.
still
and
got
then-
DJ Moore. You finally get a quarterback that can throw it to DJ damn Moore.
Didn't the
You
Bears
know
have the
he
most
gonna
money
throw
to
it to him.
spend?
Huh?
Didn't the Bears have the most money to spend?
Let
They
me
still
ask
got
you
the most
this,
money to
Chris.
spend, probably.
Who was that game yesterday on Justin Fields when he threw 4
And they got the first and
touchdowns,
second pick right
No,
now.
it wasn't
300
on Justin.
yards?
It
The
He
wasn't on
was
Chicago got the
cooking.
first.
It wasn't
It was a team
on
effort.
Justin.
The Bears were taking notes from the Chargers in that second half. That's all I saw.
He's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. And then that fumble busted up. They blew it.
So,
Feels a wide
He's not.
receiver.
Yeah, I mean, y'all want
Yeah,
to
he's
y'all.
not Terrell Pryor, dog. It ain't gonna
No.
No,
happen.
he's good. I mean, he's a good quarterback.
he
In
had
my
a good
opinion,
showing yesterday.
Ty,
yeah.
don't do
He
that,
had, a
Ty.
good, he had a good showing
He
yesterday.
said
Don't do that, Ty. Don't do that.
Just
he
go
needs to
ahead and
change the
sell it all.
scenery.
Well,
He needs to change the scenery.
yeah, he do. He need to go and try to get Kyle Pitts off the line of scrimmage.
I mean, the teams.
Free Kyle Pitts, man.
Yeah,
For
I'm just
real.
saying.
I mean,
Kyle's struggling out there, man. He's struggling.
Drake London,
He's bad.
he's kind of struggling too.
the Bears weren't nothing. The
Got a
Bears ain't
quarterback
nothing.
scared to throw it.
Exactly.
The Bears ain't nothing much worth to looking at. The Broncos ain't got nothing worth looking at. Atlanta ain't got nothing worth looking at. And Cincinnati about to be well on his way about being a team not worth looking at. Because I'll tell you what, they already got 2 division losses. Clarence went on his rant, but don't be surprised though.
Huh?
They've merged, Joe.
Don't be
Fuck
surprised.
The Bengals. Fuck the Bengals.
But
I
here's
feel the same way about the Bengals that I feel about Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics.
Jesus.
That's
Yeah,
the
what Jason
Bengals.
Tatum do to you?
Because once he said he
Another
wanted to be
topic,
like
another
Kobe,
time.
once he
Thank
said he
you.
wanted to be like
Thank you.
Kobe, that's when he had. It's just like, yo, I ain't gonna name it. I ain't gonna name. There's another person
Don't
that
start.
we don't name that
Don't
when you
start.
mention LeBron James, he goes
start.
crazy too. That's
Yeah.
what Clarence is for our podcast. When you
Mhm.
mention Tatum, he just
I don't want to hear that shit.
He
I
said,
don't want to hear that shit. I ain't got time for that in my life. Listen here.
but here's the thing though. Here's
That's good for the Bengals. Oh, that's so good for the Bengals. I'm so
Yeah.
happy and joyous. The Bengals suck ass today.
But here's
Yes.
a question. But that even though that was just the
Yes.
first 4 weeks.
Yes.
Here's my question though.
You're chilly nasty too. None of the boo boo.
But here's the question though that I have though. Do you put the Bengals on upset alert next week against the Cardinals?
yes, I got the Cardinals beating the Bengals next week. Joshua Dobbs is about to go in there and throw for 300 yards on that defense.
Hey man, you see what this is? Tatum and Booker both take ass coaches. Preach.
You gonna add Kyrie to that list? Because
I'll agree with Jason Tatum, but I'm not throwing Devin Booker on that list like that.
Hey man, hey. If it quacks like a duck, Ty, it's a duck. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not putting Booker on that list.
Booker in there too. He in there too, man. Always
So,
trying to wear the shoes. Always think he the best dancer.
Always
He
in the
thinks he's the best
videos.
dancer.
Always in the videos.
All right, so All right.
What's
So
wrong
Come
with
to Denver.
dancing?
Reel us back,
all
dog.
right.
Reel us
All
back,
right.
bro.
So do we put a fork in the Bengals if they lose next week?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's
I
over
do.
already.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow needs to sit for like 3-4 weeks, man.
See, the problem
It's
is they should
bad.
have done that at the beginning of the season. It's
Yeah,
too late now. You sit them for
yeah.
4 weeks now. You're probably 2-6,
I
one and
mean, you have
seven.
to. I mean, do you want to go continue to watch this though?
No, I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying they're
My
not going
man,
to. I
my
don't
man
think.
Okay.
Jamar Chase
Do
over there struggling.
Do you
Yeah.
remember what happened to the last big athlete we seen with a calf injury? You remember what
Didn't go
happened
so
to them?
well. Didn't go so well.
They blew their Achilles in the
Oh, when
finals
you talking about
against
Kevin
Toronto.
Durant,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
Yes, it
yeah,
started with a calf and then
it
boom,
did.
Achilles.
They tried to
Calf
force the
strain. He
issue.
was out for like a month.
Keep on, man. Keep
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Sit him, man. Keep on, man. Come on. He needs to
Yeah.
sit. He's
Yeah.
bad.
I agree, but I think it's too late now. I think
Yeah, it's too late.
they're at the point they should have sat him to begin the year. They should have sat him the first 3 weeks because that way, if you started 1-2 or 0-3, at least there's a lot more hope for the rest of the season. But right now, Joe Burrow's looking like like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Zach
He
Wilson
can't move.
outplayed Joe Burrow yesterday.
He can't
See,
move.
he can't move
Yeah.
exactly. He can't throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field either.
hmm
They
It's
won
bad.
they
It
won
is
in
bad.
three. They 1-3 with 2 division losses already.
Exactly. And
They
that
in big
division's not
trouble.
getting any easier.
hmm
And
hmm
and Arizona not no walkover team. They know how to put up a
Nope.
fight.
Where
You
is it at?
say
Is it in Cincy or
it's in
Arizona?
Arizona.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
Woo. Yeah, they are at a must win. I
whoa.
agree. That's
And
definitely a must win.
say what you want,
That might
as
be a
far
good game next week.
It
but
might be.
That might be a really good game.
here's the other thing though. Normally when you have the Bengals and
Arizona might
Arizona,
beat their ass.
but here's the thing though that sticks out for me. Normally, and this is what it tells you a lot. Normally you expect the Bengals to go against Arizona and steamroll them. Guess what the odds makers? Guess how much they only had the Bengals favored by?
I'm gonna say 3.5.
I'm gonna say 2. Okay.
3 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I think there's more so respect for Arizona too, because Arizona's been like in a lot of these
Arizona's been
games.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for
Even
yesterday.
yesterday, well,
Yeah.
a little bit yesterday.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But
Yeah.
but the
For
thing
a
about it,
quarter.
the thing
Yeah.
about it, the thing about it though
For
is that
real.
with these odds
21 or
makers,
22.
Yeah.
but with the
Shit.
odds makers, you automatically given the 3 points if you're the home team. So basically, they're saying it's a pick game.
Yeah.
That's
I think
basically what they're
Coach was just
saying.
saying
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. I said Cincinnati might be in trouble.
I think they are. I think the season's over now. I honestly I do. I don't think it matters
Mhm.
if they beat Arizona
I see nothing in the
because they're
Bengals
still not
that's
beating
scary.
the Ravens,
Nothing.
Mhm.
still not beating the
Mhm.
Browns, and you're
Mhm.
still not beating the Steelers.
Yeah.
Well,
So
also we also won. You got. I mean, the only reason why I say a little bit of hope because you're still waiting for Lamar Jackson to finish up a season. Pittsburgh, we don't know that situation because I don't know. I thought they took a huge step back as
Kenny
far as
they
with
did.
and then Pickens got hurt or not. Pickett got hurt, so that's another question mark. And then who am I missing? Who am I missing? Ravens, Pittsburgh. Who's the other team in the North? Oh, the Browns. Well, the Browns.
Yeah,
I haven't figured them out.
Well, Deshaun Watson was hurt yesterday, so I don't know how much you can take away from that game.
I don't know. I don't know what the Browns are. I mean, it's like a bad roller coaster. I mean, I like their defense, but their offense is inconsistent. You don't know what you're gonna get. But that's a toss up division too at this point.
And I just want to put this out here. Next week, God bless the Broncos when they go against the Jets, because all that trash talk that Sean Payton was putting on that on Nathaniel Hackett. Oh, they coming. They about to run that score up. I ain't saying 70, but it's gonna be bad. That
Even with
defense is
Zach
gonna
Wilson?
kill Russell. They gonna kill Russell Wilson.
I think the Jets are gonna win that game. You're gonna start to hear the boo birds like that, like it's gonna get loud. That's what I think. And I think Brees Hall has a monster game. I think he will.
I want to go back and touch on something real quick because everybody was saying that Justin Fields should go to the USFL. Let me read you the stat line and tell me if this is
Dang.
the USFL
Somebody,
stat line.
somebody really
28 of
said that?
35 with an 80% completion percentage, 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 143.7 QBR.
Talk to him, Ty. Tell Joe. Tell
Is that a
Country.
USFL
Yeah.
quarterback?
What you
No.
what you got to say about that? What's your retort on that, Joe and Country?
Man, I saw the jersey burnings and stuff like that. Justin Fields. That was about it. But dang,
Jersey burning is the stupidest thing in my life.
It
that
is.
bad? That bad?
You burning your jerseys, you stupid as hell. I just want to let you know.
I mean,
I
as
still got
bad
my
as
Tyreek
bad as
Hill
that Denver,
jersey.
as bad as that Denver defense is, it's possible.
Oh, they burning jerseys in Denver.
No, with
No, in Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh well,
I don't know.
Ty.
That stat line wasn't really trash, though.
Well,
That's
but Ty,
he's-
is he a USFL All Star? Ty, tell the truth now.
Oh man. Yo,
Come on, come on. What is he? What is he?
He's just a
What
body.
is it,
I think
dog?
he's an athletic quarterback that could
Come on.
be
Okay, athletic,
that could be
yeah.
a top 5. That could be a top 10 quarterback. Top 10
Speaking
on
of
the right team. On the right team.
speaking of the Bears, guess who we get this Thursday night?
Bears and
Yeah.
Commanders. I know.
Mm-mm.
Only people that's watching that game is Commanders and Bears fans. They ain't watching that crap.
I might be
Take
watching.
the under.
They got. You know what? I'll be watching the start of the baseball playoffs on that day. I'll start watching that one. That's that ain't a good day Thursday
He's
night.
just another guy. They said, damn.
They say that about every dude. I mean, about everybody
Um,
besides
I'm gonna
Mahomes.
watch the first. I'm gonna watch the first half.
Nah,
I'm
I'm
doing
telling
the
you,
first half.
I'm
To
I want to
support
see the
EB.
Commanders. I want to see if they bounce back. If they bounce back and put them away early, like they should put them away early.
We'll
and
see.
they
They're leaps
will,
and
They
bounds
should.
ahead of Chicago. They should, but
and
we're gonna find out.
and they
I
will,
will
and I
see
will
it.
be. They will, and I will be tuned into baseball playoffs for that one.
If the Braves are playing, yeah, I will.
Braves don't play till Sunday. Sunday, I think, next week.
All right.
They got it locked up then.
Yeah, speaking of your Braves, man, they look like they're gonna do it.
I already know.
Acuna, the real deal.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I'm mad about that chain though he got though.
Don't be.
I'm mad about that chain.
He said, "Don't
You
be."
see,
Don't
you seen that chain that he had?
Put you.
Which one?
No, he had
What,
had
the
a
one of
couple.
him?
he had a chain where like the too small chain, and he had it in
Yeah.
diamond. I'm like, this you spent your money on that?
Hey, you see them contracts?
Yeah,
All right.
Them baseball
Great
contracts are
contracts.
crazy.
yeah,
Man, them was great contracts.
yeah. You get a contract like that, you can do whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live a
All
really
right,
good life.
fellas. Who's y'all players of the game?
Oh, offense Pacheco,
Mm-mm.
defense defense was Wharton. I mean, he got the fumble recovery to seal the game.
All right, I'm gonna go with Pacheco on offense, and then defense. I'm gonna go with L'Jarius Sneed. He had a really good game, and in coverage against Garrett Wilson, there was only, I believe it was like 6 snaps or something like that, but it was only 2 targets for like 20 something yards. So he locked down Garrett Wilson when he was on him. So I'm gonna go with Sneed. And then one more thing I wanted to say before we move on is Chris Jones at the game yesterday? Was he there?
He got a
Because I didn't
sack.
see him
I think he got a sack in the first
He got a
first
sack.
half, right?
What you talking
in the
about?
first half. Then he disappeared the rest of the game.
They
Well,
was holding a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
right.
every week.
A whole lot. Yeah.
He was there. Don't do that, Ty. Don't do that.
Because they didn't
I
pay
mean,
him.
I'm
Never
just
mind.
saying,
I'm gonna
that's-
shut up.
They
I'ma
did.
shut
He
up.
had limited snaps too.
He didn't get paid. Okay, I'm done. Not doing this no more.
Go ahead.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, Clarence.
I mean, you gotta pick a player of the game. Yeah, it would be Pacheco. Well, yeah, Trey Smith too. But he went away.
He put on a block though on that run though. Like
Yeah,
sheesh.
yeah. I'm gonna go with Ty's. He said sneak. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
nothing.
Dang,
That's it.
you ain't got
They got
nothing.
yeah, because they got punked and it was good, and they needed to step up and show that they could win the game. Like
Yeah, you showing no love to Pacheco.
it's just an ugly W. I said pop, you know what I'm saying? I gave him
Yeah.
his, but you know what I'm saying? For real, like it was just ugly all around. And I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll find out next week against Minnesota. In Minnesota, I guess we'll find out about Rasheed and
I don't
Justin
think we will,
Ross and
Clarence. I'm gonna be
well, I
honest.
mean, okay. So how many weeks are we gonna do this? Seriously,
The whole
you
season.
you don't have that time. You
No,
don't
I
have
don't
that
know
time.
until we see it.
It has to be done before December, right? It needs to be figured out by December, right?
I
Uh,
agree. Yeah.
I hear
uh,
Brian, but I don't know.
Drew,
Drew
I
has
thought Drew had a good game yesterday,
some.
except
Yeah,
nah,
he struggled in coverage a little
nah.
bit.
he
I
gave up
said
a big play in coverage.
I said Tranquil was
Ugly
one of these guys
does
who need to step
count.
up. He had
They do.
yeah, he do.
I'm just saying. How long? How by December it should be right?
That's why I said. That's why I
Okay.
said. That's why I
And if
said
the
this.
receivers ain't
Then I'm
right,
gonna
you have
shut
a
up.
right.
Then,
You
then,
have
then
a
I'm gonna
right.
shut up. I'm not saying nothing.
No,
Yep, you absolutely right.
I still think there's a chance we make a
I ain't
play on a
saying nothing.
receiver, but not Chase
Mm,
Claypool, but a different receiver.
but this is why I said the next 4 weeks are going to be the most critical because
Nah, we ain't.
yeah,
no, I said for the receivers it's going to
He's-
no. This is why I said the next 4 is going to be critical because they got to
What
figure it
you
out
get? What you get?
before they start playing the big boys. Before they start playing the Miamis and the Buffaloes and the Eagles and everything. They got to figure out who that receiver is. And
so you don't have till December then, right?
no, no.
Yeah, till
Okay.
November. Okay, you got till November.
we got a month.
They need to figure it out within these next 4 games. That's what I think. I think it's the
Yeah.
most critical.
Maybe it'll be the Georgia game,
It's possible.
or we're praying that what Ty said. I think you started this, Ty, or we pray that what Ty is saying isn't true about Travis. Stay tuned.
I mean, I'm not saying
This
he's
shit's gonna
washed or
get
anything. I'm
interesting.
just
I
saying
think
up
you
No,
are,
until this
Ty. I
I,
think
point,
I
the
totally
walk,
understood
man.
where you was coming from, Ty. I knew what you meant. So okay. No, we're not doing this, Joe. Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
No,
Uh-uh.
I just think
Uh-uh.
for the receiver core, they need to figure out
Oh,
someone in
they
the next
gonna
4.
learn. These young dudes gonna learn. Oh, they gonna learn. You know what I'm saying? Like
we'll
how much
see.
time we giving them though.
Yeah,
I think it's Rasheed.
I
I
do
think you just
too.
need to cut all bullshit aside and just
And
Yeah,
let him play.
let them work. Yeah, give them the
Yeah.
work. Give them the work and let them see. And let's see. Give them the work.
Andy
We
Reid
need
can
it.
be very stubborn sometimes with how he plays his receivers, and it really drives me crazy because
But you got to let this one go. Like he can pick it up. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly. That's what I'm
You see
saying. Yeah,
him on
but
hot routes, and he's unsure about the depth because he's not running that a lot to be
consistently.
able to fill Pat. You know what I'm saying? And just let him go.
The only
Let
way
him go and let
to
him
get
ball.
that comfortability is let him play.
Let him
yeah.
go and let him ball, man. He's
I
ready.
mean, I mean,
You can't hold it back.
this is the next. I mean, ideally, this is probably the next 4 games like to be able to figure. It's a perfect 4 games to do it because obviously you got Minnesota, and then the 3 after that are divisional. I mean, what better way to do it
Mm-hmm.
than one's against the
Mm-hmm.
Chargers, then 2 of them against
Mm-hmm.
the Broncos. They got to win those
Mm-hmm.
divisional games
Mm-hmm.
anyway. So stay
Mm-hmm.
tuned for the next 4. I think that's where we're going to
Yeah.
figure it out. That's
Yeah.
just what I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope we do. I
Yeah.
agree. I think we'll figure it out. But
Yeah,
right now we haven't figured it out.
Well,
divisional
that was a
games.
good Jet defense too, though,
No, it
man.
was.
Yeah,
But
They were
the
a
only
good
time
defense.
we've really seen this offense and the receivers win consistently, it's
The
been
Bears.
one out of the 4 games this year, and it was the Bears game. Because even in that Jags game,
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
struggled for a good probably 3/4 of that game.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. Just saying.
Well, we should go 0-4. I mean 4-0
I
against that.
mean, 7-1 is a good record to have at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Good record.
and then I'll set it up, as
Then,
far as with Miami when they go
what?
overseas.
When they go 4-0, then what with the receivers?
but those are games we're expected to win with no matter like what the receiving core looks like. Honestly,
I mean,
Yeah.
the fact of the divisional games, that's what makes it key. So that, I mean, you
Yeah.
definitely want to win those division games. It's a good time to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a
I
good
think
time
we
to figure
will,
it out.
man.
I think they will too.
Rasheed Rice, baby. Sky Moore. I got confidence in y'all. These
Yeah.
three.
Keep hope
These
alive.
two down
And
here.
and
I'm
if
giving up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I've kind
Yeah.
of given up on Sky Moore at this
Look
point
at
because
him.
he's
Look at
not
him.
what
Keep
I
hope
thought he
alive.
was.
Especially the
Sky
dude
Yeah.
over
Moore
here.
is not.
Especially this dude right here in this corner over here.
Mm.
Sky
and it
Moore is supposed to be a separator, and we have yet to see that. We've seen it a
Doom and
little bit. We've
doom
seen
tie.
flashes.
and what if Pacheco is consistent? He starts to have more of these 100-yard games. Then what? That's just gonna make
Then
the offense that much better.
yeah, I agree with that. If we go to that kind of a play style, then the stuff with the receivers won't matter as much. But I don't think we're going to that kind of play style.
We might. That's why I'm not ruling it out. It's a
What
possibility.
Pacheco get like
Andy Reid is too
17,
stubborn
18
to do
carries
that.
next week, and he get like 100 and some yards.
The only one I've ruled out is Clyde
Andy Reid is too
because
stubborn.
Yeah, Clyde got to
Yeah.
go.
I just can't.
That's who we're
Yeah,
trading for a receiver.
Yeah,
I just can't.
I'm tired. Look, I
So
get it.
so that will yield a better receiver. That
Yeah,
trade
right.
yields a
Yeah.
better receiver.
Ty, cut it.
Please,
Well,
That-
it's CH and a
listen.
pick.
They watched that game last night. He took
Yeah.
that outside pitch, and he was like he was running in quicksand.
Yeah. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's
If
bad.
they had gave that to Jet, that'd have been the first down.
Yeah. Well, and Karam, he spent all
I
off
agree
season
with
telling
that.
me
I do.
how Pickens is better than Sky. I'm yet to see that, or how Sky is better than Pickens. I'm yet to see that too.
Too young to be smoking. PSA from country.
Yeah, ain't nobody want Clyde.
Yeah, look, I got my confidence. Rasheed Rice, baby, he's a star. Sky Moore, he's right there, the number 2. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Y'all gonna see.
Yeah, I'm
Get
still
y'all
confident.
Get y'all
Rasheed
jerseys
Rice.
now. Go on, get y'all jerseys now.
Who's not better than Pickens?
Sky.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's not better than Pickens.
I mean, we knew that.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because there was Chiefs fans
Yeah, I'm
arguing with me
100%
a couple
positive.
months ago that
I'm
that
positive.
Sky
I
was
don't know
better.
about them.
Yeah,
sorry.
no, I know you
I don't
guys
know.
knew.
I
I know
didn't
you knew.
never one time I said, hey man, Sky Moore is
No.
better than George Pickens.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
shit.
One went to Georgia for a reason.
Yeah,
But somebody in the comment section did, or actually maybe two
Yeah.
people in the comment section said that. But
yeah, yeah,
That's why they're in the comment section.
yeah. I never said better than Pickens. I just said
do I need
absolutely, Joe. Yeah.
Yeah.
do I need to get the receipts now?
Uh oh.
Do
Uh-oh.
I need-
Uh oh.
I have to have a receipt
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
I have to have a receipt show. Ty's receipts.
You
That's
know
a
what
new
I'm
segment
saying?
coming up.
I mean, I'm still
what I'm
riding
saying?
with. Oh no, not this George or Claypool for.
Nah, Tyree, we're not doing that.
Now we
Don't
straight.
even ask. Don't even ask.
We're not even
Okay.
giving you in the conditional
I
7.
wouldn't even pick him up off the waivers, to be honest.
Don't pick up your cell phone. Don't send no emails.
Send Chase
Don't
Claypool.
even
Send-
ask.
Send Chase Claypool to the Giants.
No, there's even better. There's a team called the Seattle Sea Lions. They play in the XFL. He'd be great there. He would be great there. Him and Josh Gordon together. Sell tickets.
Ooh,
They
boy,
would
I'd be
sell
fade
tickets,
routes all
man.
day.
All day.
Fade
And
routes
slants.
all day.
And
And he's an
slants.
XFL.
Yeah, fades and slants.
And
Jesus.
slants. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be
I thought
awesome,
he was pretty good with the
man.
Steelers. It just he couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Well, and then he went to purgatory, and now nobody believes shit he says
Chicago,
about his abilities.
Chicago is not purgatory. That's hell. He went straight to hell. That's where he
Yeah.
went.
So we don't know. Like somebody will take him though.
Yes.
Maybe it'll be
Somebody will,
Houston.
for a fifth or
Maybe
a
it'll be
sixth.
Houston. Maybe it'll be
That would be
Houston.
a good pick. Carolina, maybe. Carolina's
Yeah.
I
a
can see
receiver.
Carolina. I can see Carolina too. All right,
Yeah.
fellas. Another one in the books.
You said-
Before we land this thing, I just want to give a shout out to the Blue Diamond Saloon. I want to give a
Mm,
shout out to my guy
absolutely.
Joshua for allowing us to come through there, do our pregame show there. It was an excellent time. Um, we got a lot of good content. We got an interview coming out with super fan Tammy Allen. She's real good lady. You know what I'm saying? She's up for super fan of the year. If she wins, she get 2 free tickets to the Super Bowl out here in Vegas. So shout out to her, man. It was a good interview, and shout out to everybody that came through. It's a good time, and expect to have more pregame shows like that. So shout out to them. All right. If you look down at the bottom, you see the link emqpodcast.com/locker-room. If you go to that link, you'll see the locker room access of all the podcasts that's under the Every Morning Quarterback umbrella. They got a 49ers one, they got a Patriots one, they got a Jets one, and they got ours, Arrowhead Chief Podcast. Click on the link or the banner, and you'll see all our episodes, recent, past ones. Go ahead and follow us, subscribe, all that good stuff. Um, Also subscribe to us on YouTube, man. You know, hit that like button, hit that notification button, so when our lives go up on 3:30 on Mondays,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
you know what I'm
Now you
saying?
think, yeah,
You'll get the
yeah,
notification. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And you
yeah,
won't be here late like Country was today, and he would have
yeah,
heard that we said the
yeah.
Jets defense was good. But I digress. Um,
You got it.
so yeah. Also, check out their YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? They talk about everything league wide in the NFL. And they give you betting tips. They talk about college football, all that good stuff. So go ahead, subscribe to their channel on YouTube and check them out. Shout out to them over there, Every Morning Quarterback. Also, whatever streaming platform you use to listen to your podcast on, Arrowhead Chief Podcast is on there, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your podcast on, Arrowhead Chief Podcast is available on there. Whatever social media app that you use, Arrowhead Chief Podcast is on there. If Ty wasn't blocking it, follow
I can
AH
see it.
Chief
He's
Podcast.
throwing shots. Okay.
I see it.
I'm just
Yeah.
messing with you, Ty. AH Chief Podcast. You can
I
follow
don't
us
think
on
he cared
Twitter,
much for you, Ty.
Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Twitch. You can follow us on all social media platforms. We'll follow you back because, Clarence, what's our motto?
We ain't Hollywood, but we do like TVs, PlayStation 5. And never mind. Y'all have a good weekend.
I
Never
know
He
why you made
says,
that
"Oh
play.
yeah,
I know why you made that PlayStation 5 comment.
mind.
we like next
think
gen
you,
consoles.
you
Next
think
gen, not
y'all
last
slick.
gen.
You know what? Forget both of y'all. I'm docking y'all pay.
We get paid.
$2.50.
We
A
get
Oh damn.
whole $2.
Oh damn, Ty. Never mind. Shut up, Clarence. No, it's fine. Nah, but for real. Follow us on all social media platforms. Give us any feedback, critiques, topics you want us to talk about with the Chiefs or around the NFL. Hit us up, man, and we will interact with you. You know what I'm saying? Like Clarence said, we are not Hollywood. We are fans just like y'all of the Kansas City Chiefs. And we just want to give you the best Chief content that we can give you. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, fellas. Oh, another announcement is we're going to be giving you 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
So now the other episode won't be live. It'll just be a recording, and we'll be dropping those on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? That way we can give our picks for the game and to be closer to the game. We'll get the injury reports and all that good stuff. And we can do score predictions. Even though Clarence hates score predictions, we can still give them.
I do.
He does.
I hate them.
So stay tuned for that.
Passion.
Stay tuned for that.
My bad. I said too much today, guys. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, we need
I'm
Clarence
working on
cooking
it though.
more often.
I'm
Yeah,
working on
we
me, so
need
y'all
this.
have to excuse me,
This is
man.
good content, Clarence. We need
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. All right,
Gotta
y'all
get
have
We
a
these
need
good
it
one.
more.
subscribers up. We gotta get these
Yeah.
subscribers up, man.
Friday, Saturday. Yeah, y'all check us out Saturday. We be at the
Yes,
we
sir.
outside. Peace.
We out.